Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Strat Baseball History. My name is Joe, and I am hanging out tonight. Figured I would go ahead and bring you the start of my PC project to go alongside our 1962 Cards and Dice Basic Replay. We're going to be streaming and recording some of the 1973 as played Major League Baseball replay using the Strat-O-Matic PC game. I like to keep a PC project alongside a cards and dice project, typically because PC projects move along a little bit faster, and when I'm really tired or I'm really feel like relaxing, sometimes rolling the dice and keeping track of everything and doing stats can be a little much after a long day at work. So I like to have a PC project on the side so that I can keep the games moving, always have a little bit of strat to play every night, and always have baseball at my fingertips ready to go, basically, because I don't know if you're like me, but baseball is pretty much my religion. Learned a lot of life lessons through studying baseball over the years, and I probably know more about baseball than any other single historical thing in life. So this is a good place to start as any for my relaxation. I still have a ton to learn about baseball, obviously. I don't know much about seasons before I was born. I probably started paying attention, really paying attention, as like an independent fan in the early 80s. I was born in 73, so, I was 8, 9, 10 years old. I was playing Little League already, but really started to get to know the players in the game a little bit more beyond, like, my baseball cards. Like, I remember the 77 and 78 Yankees really well. 77 was actually my first game. And had a lot of those baseball cards. Dick Tidrow and Catfish Hunter and Oscar Gamble being some of my favorite cards. Lou Piniella for some reason. I think just because his name sounded like vanilla. But he was one of my favorite Yankees at the time when I was a kid. But yeah, so anything prior to 77, I've learned almost entirely through reading and through Strat-O-Matic, actually. So, yeah, but here we are. And tonight we'll be bringing the opening games of the 1973 season. I'm going to be using Retro Sheet as a reference to tell us a little bit about what's going on each day. The season actually began on a Thursday, April 5th, with a game between San Francisco and Cincinnati in Cincinnati. And that was the only game on the 5th. Notable debuts, well, not notable, but debuts on this date, according to Retro Sheet, were Cincinnati's Gene Locklear, age 23. Transactions on this date: the Chicago White Sox released Dick Bainey. The California Angels sold Alan Foster to St. Louis. And the Baltimore Orioles traded Tommy Matchik to the Yankees in exchange for Frank Banker. So that's what we can expect for the 5th. We'll see how this goes. I don't know how the game's going to flow as far as play-by-play and that sort of thing. It's going to be a very relaxed stream. Thanks in part to Dogfish Head, my favorite current brewery. We have both the 60 and 90-minute IPA varieties available to us tonight, so that should be pretty fun. I'm going to keep it relaxed and easy and just try to have a good time. See how everything goes. So, for those of you who are new to Strat Baseball History, well, that's everybody. Welcome. My name is Joe. I play baseball, mostly Strat, and I need a haircut, like everybody else, in this coronavirus environment. But you can see me doing play-by-play down in your lower right-hand corner. Really, I'm just going to be hanging out, playing the games, talking about the games a little bit as I play them, and feel free to jump in and chat. Tell me what's on your mind, and we'll see how it goes. So, without further ado, your first game of the 1973 National League season, as I said, between San Francisco and Juan Marichal, and Cincinnati and Don Gullett. So we'll play day. There are no autoplays, but they're getting the rosters together. So a couple things. This is an as-played 1973 replay. What that means is that the lineups for the starting lineups and pitchers, as well as the transactions, will occur as they actually did in real life. The rest of the replay is fictional, meaning that bullpen moves and that sort of thing, pinch hitting, pinch running, defensive changes as the games go on will be played according to how I see fit. Yeah, so because I like to keep things fair, I won't be playing both sides, because otherwise it's harder to make decisions, frankly. It's hard to manage against yourself. So I'm going to play the home teams for all of the games in the season, except for your New York Yankees and your New York Mets, because I am a New Yorker. I am a lifelong Yankee fan, so I'll always be playing the Yankees and the Mets as we go. But every other game that we play, I'll be playing the home team. I don't know if I'll play every single game in the replay. I'm going to set out starting that way, and we'll see how it goes as time goes on. So, I keep saying so. What else? What else do you need to know? Oh, as far as options, I've done a couple of things interesting. The season started, but no games have been played. I don't have an encyclopedia assigned yet either. I find Strat's Encyclopedia confusing and unnecessarily difficult to use, but it's what we've got, so I'll have to learn how to use it if I want to keep long-term stats for these. But what was I going to say? So under options, rules, I've made a couple of tweaks. I don't like max-level rules, so we're using Super Advanced with Balk, Wild Pitch, and Pass Ball. This season was re-released with all those features back a few years ago, so everything should be up to date. This is the most updated roster file that's available for the PC game. Super Advanced Stealing, Super Advanced Strategy, no miscellaneous rules, no closer rules, because the closer wasn't really... While there were some guys who were starting to specialize, we really didn't have closers in effect in 73, I don't think. No injuries, obviously, because it's as played. We'll be using Super Advanced Fatigue rules, but no pitch count. Yeah. There might be a couple of weird starts during the season because I understand that a couple of guys, specifically knuckleballers, pitched on 2 days rest. We'll have to see how the fatigue rules affect them. But we're going to go with it for now. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty much as you'd expect. But the reason I do this is I like the game to replicate... I like the PC game to replicate the board game very accurately. And those max rules and miscellaneous rules do not. They're not available in the board game, and they're not even disclosed as to how they formulate them. Things especially like there's a rule that will keep a player from greatly exceeding their real life value if like they start to go crazy and get more than like a standard deviation away. I like to let the math and the dice rolls do their thing and see where everybody ends up. So also, you can see I've customized the backdrop for the 73 season. We got the two MVPs of 73 as it actually played out, Reggie Jackson in the American League and Pete Rose in the National League. And Nolan Ryan did not win the Cy Young Award, but he did strike out 383 batters, which is one of the coolest things that ever happened in baseball. Breaking the Koufax strikeout record that year, I believe. So, yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at. Back to getting the game started. I didn't know I was going to do this tonight, so I'm a little wonky. It's been a long day of just trying to get through. This is my furlough week. We're alternating weeks. I am getting paid, which is nice. Really nice, actually. Thank you, job. But had to spend the day with a roommate. She had a dental emergency, so I basically spent my day sitting in the car while she was getting her dental emergency tended to. So, I'm pretty tired. I'm ready to relax. I'm ready to play some Strat. And let's play the day. San Francisco at Cincinnati to start things off. So as you can see, we have Marichal on the mound against a Gullet. For Cincinnati, I'll be playing as Cincinnati. The starting lineup for the visiting San Francisco Giants. Bobby Bonds in right, Tito Puentes at second base, Chris Spire at short, Willie McCovey at first, Gary Maddox in center. I think it's Al Gallagher at third, Gary Matthews in left. I believe Matthews is a rookie this year, and I think he ends up being Rookie of the Year. Doug Rader catching, and Marichal pitching. That's the other interesting thing about 73. It's the first year of the DH, and since I was born the very first day of 1973, I'm a New Year's baby, January 1st. I never knew baseball without the DH, or the American League without the DH. So, but no DH in this game. The home team lineup behind Gullett is Pete Rose in left, Morgan at second, Tolan in right, Johnny Bench at the catcher, Tony Perez at first, Cesar Geronimo in center. I think it's Don Chaney at short, Doug Menke at third, and Gullett on the mound. So, we're ready to go.
Welcome
play some ball
to the stadium for today's ball game.
Gotta let it play for the first one. Play ball. And I just noticed that we don't have our pictures loaded, so give me a sec here. I wonder why that is. I have a feeling I know. Like, man, I just loaded all these pictures in. What happened? But seriously, I have a feeling that the problem... That's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Yes, player. Oh, that's weird. It should be showing up. I don't know why the 73 pictures aren't working. I have a feeling I know, though. I'll try something. Just try jumping out of the game real quick. And seeing if that will fix anything. What would you do if I didn't know what I was doing? Let's see. I just copied the 73 alias files over. Just want to do a real quick. It doesn't matter. National League. New scheduled.
Welcome.
There we go. Okay, we got alias files, we got pictures. There on your left is the pitcher Don Gullett. Gullett for Cincinnati, expected 18-8, 2 saves, 3.51 ERA, 198 hits and 228 innings pitched, 69 walks, 153 strikeouts, and 24. He'll be facing Bobby Bonds leading off. Bonds had a hell of a season. 283 average, 39 homers, 96 RBIs, 34 doubles, 87 walks, and 43 steals. Almost a 40-40 man right there. His son before him. So it is a good day now at Riverfront Stadium. It was an average day before. Doesn't really matter. And I don't know why we're not getting that. This does this every time. You would probably like to see the game, huh? There you go. There's the game. This is how it happens, guys. Alright, looks like we got everything in order now. So without further ado, Gullett on the mound to pitch to Bonds. It is opening day at Riverfront Stadium, and it's a beautiful day. Bobby Bonds leads it off. The pitch from Gullett. On the ground toward Cheney. Plays on one bounce over to Perez, and that's the first out of the inning. Tito Puentes coming to the plate, 277, 6 homers, 63 RBIs, 656 ABs. Let's see how he does against Gullett. Puentes ready. Spire due up next. Gullett with the pitch. Another one on the ground toward Cheney. Cheney makes the right choice, scoops up the ball, tosses to first. Tito has an infield base hit. Is that what just happened there? Yeah. Ball and half the batter heading for short. That's what happened there. So, Tito Puentes finds himself on its short, a 15 speed, but only 40% chance to steal. Spire coming up next, 249, 11 homers, 71 RBIs. He's a B bunter and a C stealer, if I remember that correctly. Yep. Yeah, B bunter, C hit and run. So he'll be swinging away here. Spire's ready. Gullett with the pitch. And ball 4. So first and second now, and McCovey coming up. It's a hell of a picture of McCovey showing off his massive arms. So, really limited play this year. 266, 29 homers and 75 RBIs, and just 383 at-bats. He did 105 walks, so he's got a good number of plate appearances, almost 500. He obviously will miss some time during this season. Let's see how this goes. Gullett with first and second. He'll be looking for the ground ball out of McCovey. Got a bench for the sign, and here's the pitch. The left-hander with McCovey. Fly ball into center. This one's over Geronimo's head for extra bases. Fuentes scores. McNamara stops Spire at third, but a run is in for San Francisco already with just one out. McCovey with an RBI double. And Gary Maddox coming up to the plate. Maddox, 319, 11 homers, and 76 RBIs on the real season. His first at bat of 1973 against Gullett. Let's see how it goes. Big lefty deals. It's a liner out to left. That one's deep, folks. Could be trouble. Maddox rocked it. He got all of it. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Gary Maddox, and suddenly it is 4-0. San Francisco, and Al Gallagher coming up. Gallagher not going to see a lot of play time this year. Only 222 average, 2 for 9, and 1 RBI. So, Al, let's see if you can outperform your advanced billing. Gullett trying to recover from that early homer. Maddox with the first home run of the season. Here's a hard ground ball right at Cheney. Snares easily over to first for the second out at last. Excuse me, this brings up Gary Matthews. Matthews expected a 300 hitter. 20 doubles, 10 triples, 12 home runs, and 58 ribbies in full-time play in 73. Let's see if that goes according to plan. Gullet looking for that third out. The pitch from Gullet. On the ground again to Cheney. And he charges it, fires to first, and gets the third out. But after a half inning, it is San Francisco 4, and the Reds coming to bat. We'll see how this goes. So the Reds will send up Pete Rose, 338, 5 homers, 64 RBIs, and in real life, your eventual 1973 MVP. We'll have to see if that goes according to plan. But on the mound, Juan Marichal, 11-15, a 3.82 ERA, 207 innings pitched, 231 hits, 87 strikeouts, 22 homers allowed. And he's ready to go. Ready to throw to Rose. Rose batting lefty against the right-hander. And a hard grounder toward Gallagher at third. Gallagher makes the pickup over to the Covey, and Rose is retired. Really nice play by Gallagher for the first out. Here's Joe Morgan, 290, 26-82 on the season. 111 walks, really nice stat there, and 67 steals, a monster season for Morgan. So, Marichal ready. See if our Cincinnati boys can do something here, because we are rooting for the home teamers. Grounder toward Fuentes. He charges, fires the first, and retires the second man. Brings up Bobby Tolan. Tolan the lefty, a 206, 9-homer, 51 RBI season in 73. Here's his first at bat of our replay. Another ground ball toward Fuentes. Bounces high, Fuentes gloves it over to first, and Tolan is out easily. So the Reds go in order in the bottom of the first. Doug Rader to lead off for San Francisco in the second. Here's the pitch from Gullet. And sharp breaking ball. Too much for Rader. He swings over it for strike 3. One gone for San Francisco. And Marichal now, the number 9 hitter, coming to the bat. Marichal acquits himself okay at the plate. 188 average and 69 at bats. Only 2 extra base hits, though. Gullet should come right after him with the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out on a fastball. Marichal's down swinging for the second out. And here comes Bobby Bonds. 0 for 1 thus far on the day. Grounded out his first time up. The pitch from Gullet. It's in the air out to left. Like Rose should be able to track this one down. It's a shallow fly ball. Oh, Rose drops the ball. Bonds stops at first on the error. Rose drops the ball. Can you believe it, folks? Look at that Johnny Bench arm coming into play, holding Bonds from a 70% stealer down to a 50% stealer in this situation. Now Fuentes is going to go ahead and do his job at bat. Well, it wastes no time. Takes the sign from bench. With his second base hit of the day. This is why it's a relaxed stream, ladies and gentlemen. So Bonds is going to scamper over to third. Fuentes on at first, and Gullet in a little bit of trouble again. He'll face the number 3 hitter Spire, who walked his first time up. Spire 2-man out, runners on the corners. So grounder back to Gullet. Picks and throws to first for the third out, and that's the end of the second. We're going to have Johnny Bench leading off for the Reds in the bottom half, trying to get something going. Marichal ready and pitches to Bench. Bench, by the way, 253, 25, 104 on the season. Bench grounds out to Spire for the first out. So here's Cesar Geronimo, 314, 27, 101. Pretty damn good lineup for the Reds, as usual. 70s. Marichal to pitch with 1 out. The pitch from the righty. And a wave and a whiff strike. 3 Perez down on strikes. That's going to bring up Cesar Geronimo. 210, 4 homers, 33 RBIs. Expected for Cesar in 73. Marichal ready. Winds. And it's a grounder toward Fuentes. Incredible stop, but no throw. That's an infield hit for Geronimo. And a 75% chance he's going to try to get the lead. 67, pretty good chance to get the lead, but he's also caught pretty often. He's still going to go ahead and do it with 2 outs. Geronimo stretches his lead, and there he goes. And he guns him out. Bench having none of it. So that ends the inning for Cincinnati, and McCovey to lead off for San Francisco. McCovey a double and a RBI today. Another grounder toward Cheney. Scoops it up over to first and 1 down. It's going to bring up Maddox, a 3-run home run back in the first. See if Gullett is careful with him or if he comes right after him. Took some extra time on the mound there. Another grounder to the left side. Menke on the second hop over to first, and Perez retires. Maddox for the second out. Here's Gallagher. The ground out his first time up, 0 for 1 on the day. Gullett's pitch, and he induces another ground ball toward Cheney, who shoots it over to Perez for the final out. So Cincinnati still trailing as we go to the bottom of the third. They'll send up Cheney, Menke, and Gullett. Here's Cheney, 181, no homers, 14 RBIs. Pitch from Marichal. Another ground ball, this one toward Fuentes. Over to McCovey for the first out. Here's Doug Menke, 191, 326. Yeah, looks like he's going to lose him. Ball 4. So Menke finds his way down to second. Gullett's coming up with 1 out. A small chance of Menke getting the lead. We're going to try, though. Marichal looks him back. So no steal for Menke, which means Gullett is going to go ahead and try to lay down the sacrifice. 92% chance. Being successful, Gullett's an A bunter. Very good at his job. Beautiful bunt down the third baseline. Marichal and Gallagher collide going for the ball. Gallagher recovers, picks it up, and fires to first for the out. That was a nice sacrifice. It may take a moment to get composure, but now Menke's in scoring position for Pete Rose. Rose grounded out his first time up. Let's see what he does here with 2 outs against Marichal. The pitch from Juan. Rose in the air to left field. High drive to deep left. Matthews camps under it. Lost it in the sun. Recovers to make the grab. So again, Cincinnati scoreless. And Gary Matthews to lead off for San Francisco today. 0 for 1 on the day so far. Here in the fourth. He lifts this one on the air on the infield. It's in shallow left. Back is short. Cheney gets under it. Still waiting and makes the play. 1 down. That brings up Dave Rader. I said Doug Rader before. It's Dave. Brother. So Rader 0 for 1 with a strikeout his last time up. First time up, for that matter. This one he makes contact with right at Morgan, the fantastic fielding second baseman. He throws over Perez for the second out. Here's Marichal. Second at bat of the day. He struck out his first time up. And Gullett with the pitch. Marichal makes contact this time. Another grounder toward Cheney. Fires it. Pulls Perez off the bag. Perez swipes with the glove and makes the tag. A nice play by Perez to retire the side. The Reds will come up, trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Joe Morgan rounded out his first time up. Marichal with the pitch. A line drive right at Fuentes, but he snares it. Score at 4, folks. That's the first out of the inning. Here's Tolan. 0 for 1 his first time up. See how Bobby does. Marichal, a fastball, slider, and screwball pitcher. Bobby Tolan has himself a base set, a hard grounder between McCovey and Fuentes. And Tolan's got some speed. Gonna try to go. High tight sliders. Tolan's on the way. Bench fires down and nails him. So 2 quick Reds have tried stealing. Sorry, that was actually Doug Rader gunning down Tolan. So, inspired by Johnny Bench's throw in the previous inning, Rader guns down Bobby Tolan for the second out. Now Bench, who grounded out his first time up, will hit with 2 outs and nobody on. Bench is going to get this one in the air toward Maddox. Looks shallow, he's under it and makes the easy catch. We'll go to the 5th, 4-0 San Francisco. There's Bobby Bonds, 0 for 2 today, reached on an error his last time up. Is to be followed by Fuentes and Spire. Fill it to Bonds. The grounder to the left side, it's going to be through. The ball out of Cheney's reach, and Bonds is on at first. Here's Fuentes. Coming up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit and run. Let's see, 27% chance for a hit. We only got a 27% chance to be on base, so that's not terrible. We'll go ahead and do it. Trying the hit and run here. See how it goes. Oh, this is not going to be a good one. He pops this one up on the infield. Back a second. Morgan waves his hands, makes the catch. 1 away. Bonds has to return to first, and that brings up Spire. Spire, slightly less good. He's going to be like a 25% chance. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Spire, ready to face Gullett. Gullett wasting no time, has the sign from Bench and throws. Ground ball toward Cheney, could be 2. Cheney up with it over to Perez at first. Spire beats it out. On the chopper, another infield hit today. That's the 3rd infield hit we've had today, I believe. And now you have Bonds and Spire on with the dangerous McCovey due to bat. McCovey 1 for 2 on the day with a double. Grounded out his last time up, and 1 out. So, Gullett would love a double play ball. McCovey would love a base hit. Here's the pitch from Gullett. McCovey in the air to left, out toward Rose. Rose camps under it, takes it down for the second out. Runners will have to hold. Pitching goes Larry Shepard out to talk with Gullett. How's he going to deal with Maddox here with 2 out, 2 on. Maddox an early home run on the day. Grounded out his last time up. Gullett's rubbing down a new ball, and he's ready. The pitch. And strike 3 called. On the corner.
Peanuts, get your peanuts here.
So Gullett's been really good since the first. If it wasn't for those 4 runs, we'd be in the midst of a tight pitching duel. But as it is, Tony Perez will come to bat. He struck out against Marichal his first time up. Marichal's only strikeout on the day. The pitch. A wicked breaking ball. Perez checks his swing. The ump calls him out on the appeal. Second strikeout for Marichal, both against Perez, and here is Cesar Geronimo. He singled his first time up and was caught stealing, I believe. Geronimo waiting for the pitch from Marichal. This one's on the air, back a second. Fuentes waits and takes the easy out. 2 down for Cincinnati. Marichal is cruising right along. He'll face Cheney now, grounded out his first time up. And this one's on the ground toward McCovey. Not a great fielding first baseman, but like an easy out. To end the inning, we'll go through 5 with San Francisco leading the Reds 4-0. Well, Gallagher due up for San Fran. Well, ready to go. The pitch. Another grounder toward Cheney. Bellett's bread and butter so far today. And the 6-3 for the first out. Brings up Gary Matthews. 0 for 2 in his major league career thus far. Bellett with the pitch to Matthews. A check swing, a high pop up in foul territory, and Bench makes the catch against the Sands for the second out. Dave Rader coming up. He's 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a strikeout. Bellett waits for Bench's sign, and now the pitch. On the ground toward Morgan. Morgan keeps it in front of him off his chest over to first, and Rader is out for the third out. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. San Francisco retired 1-2-3, and the Reds coming up against Marichal, trying to get something going. They are due with Menke, Gullett, and Rose. So here's Menke. A pitch for Marichal. Menke is down on strikes. Gullett is due up here in the 6th. I want to see. He's normally a 7 pitcher. He's pitched really well since the 1st. Yeah, we'll try to get another inning or 2 out of him. It is opening day. Don doesn't want to come out just yet. He's having too much fun. Look at his working. And he's going to strike out here. Probably should have pinch hit for both him and Menke there. But that's a hindsight sort of thing. Anyway, here's Rose. 0 for 2, ground out and a fly out on the day. Marichal ready back in the box. This one's out toward Maddox in center. Well hit by Rose. Maddox on his horse, carrying to the wall. He jumps. It's off the wall. Rose around second. But he'll retreat as the throw comes in, held to a double by a good throw in by Maddox. Only the 3rd hit against Marichal on the day. And Joe Morgan due up. Dangerous hitter is Morgan. To put the Reds right back in this one with one swing of the bat. Well, instead he gets under it. Marichal gets him to pop this one up toward Fuentes. Grounders to Cheney, who have been Gullett's bread and butter. Marichal continually getting the pop-ups on the infield to Fuentes today. And it remains 4-0 as we go to the 7th. Marichal due to lead off in the 7th, and he will stay in with the shutout going. Gullett pitches to him. A grounder toward Cheney. There we go again, folks. Cheney with the grab over to first, 1 away. This is your Strat Baseball History broadcast system as we take a station break. Let's see how Bobby Bonds does. Bonds 1 for 3 at base hits last time up. 2-strike offering to Bonds. A grounder toward Morgan. Perez actually snags a moving to the right, leads Gallagher to the bag, and easily beats Bonds for the 2nd out. 2 men gone, nobody on. Here's Fuentes, who's 2 for 3 on the day and scored a run. A line drive between Perez and Morgan. Morgan dove for it, but couldn't reach it. And Fuentes has his 3rd single of the day. Now Gullett to face Spire. There's a grounder to the left side. Menke up with it over to Perez for the final out. Here's the 7th inning stretch. In 1966, the relief pitcher struck out a record 11 batters in one World Series game. 66, huh? What do you guys think? 1966, when a relief pitcher struck out 11 batters. Shucks, I don't have a clue. Grabowski of the Orioles against the Dodgers. There you go, Mo Grabowski, 11 batters in relief. Somebody probably knew that. I didn't. Now I do. But will you remember? No one's really sure, man. No one's really sure. I'm not even sure what's going on right now. Well, Marichal's getting ready to deal with Bobby Tolan, the number 3 hitter. He's on the delivery. Tolan a grounder toward McCovey. McCovey on one hop flips to Marichal for the easy out and 1 down. There's Johnny Bench 0 for 2 on the day. Marichal gets himself ready, tills the rubber. Here's the pitch. This one's heading out to the gap between Maddox and Matthews in left center. Maddox racing back, he reaches for it. can't quite make it. Bench will cruise into second with a double. So Tony Perez coming up, trying to make a game out of this one here. Marichal ready. Perez 0 for 2. The pitch from the Dominican Republic's Marichal. Big slow curve in there for strike 3. Perez down again. And it's up to Cesar Geronimo with 2 outs now. See if he can bring the runner home from scoring position. Bench out there at second. This is a grounder towards Spire. Over to McCovey. That is the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 7th. Cincinnati fails to get on the board again. And it's going to be McCovey, Maddox, and Gallagher leading off against Gullett in the 8th. So the Gullett is ready to pitch to McCovey. It's a grounder toward Menke. Over to Perez for the 1st out. Gary Maddox coming up. 1 for 3 with that 3-run homer today. The big blow on the day for San Francisco. And that is ball 4. Maddox finds himself on base. Now Gallagher due up. Gallagher going to go ahead and hit away. 3 groundouts so far today. This one right back to Gullett. Over to second for 1. Not in time. Gallagher beats the throw to first. He'll give Matthews a chance to bat. Matthews, 3 outs today, 0 for 3. Fouled out to the catchers last time up. Gullett ready. Grounder to the left side. That's going to be through toward Rose. Single for Matthews. Gallagher over to third, and Dave Rader coming to the plate. They'd love a double play here. Well, there's 2 outs, so they only need 1. Double play would just be overkill. They can't get him out for the 9th. That'd be an interesting baseball rule, though, if you could get a 4th out to preload in the inning. Rader hits this one out toward Tolan in right field. This is pretty deep. And that is a 3-run home run for Rader. And yeah, that's going to do it for Gullett. So San Fran now leads 7-0, and this one's gone into mop-up territory. We are looking. We give it to McLaughlin. Craig. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give it to McLaughlin. And his ridiculous ERA. 37 runs gone in this one. McLaughlin will come on to pitch to Marichal in the 8th. 2 outs. And he walks Marichal. That's not good. So McLaughlin to pitch to Bonds. Rising fastball. Bonds tries to hold up and does. No swing, and it's 1st and 2nd now with 2 out for Fuentes, who's got 3 base hits on the day. Another grounder toward Perez. Goes crouch to the bag and takes it for the 3rd out. So McLaughlin gets out of the inning without further damage, but Gullett went 7+ and gave up 7 runs. Now for Cincinnati, Cheney, Menke, and McLaughlin due up. We're going to have to do some pinch hitting here. Cheney 271, 279. We're looking for guys to get on base, obviously. Barton 522 on base. That's pretty good. Diana 361. Clear 311. Oh, Barton. It 1 at bat on the season. 2 plate appearances, 1 of them was a walk. He's going to get the hit right now. He hits this one out to the left toward Matthews. Matthews charging, dives, can't get it. Barton stops at first. He's got a base hit, something he didn't do all season. Menke's due to hit. His on base isn't bad. His slugging is terrible, though. Walk and a strikeout on the day. They're going to go ahead and let him... I'm going to let him hit. Probably should have pinch run for Barton, but we need 7. We need a lot of dudes on base. Oh, that looks like a base hit for Menke. Down in the corner. Going to be extra bases. We're going to hold Barton at third. And McLaughlin coming up. He is not going to hit. Big Gallagher, next best dude. 360 something on base, right? Yeah. Against Marichal, so let's see how this goes. 2 men in scoring position. Marichal doing some weird groundskeeping. Gallagher with a pop-up on the infield. Gallagher makes the play, and that's the first out. Here's Pete Rose. Ground out fly out on a double his last time up. Kind of spot Rose loves to come to the plate. There's a grounder toward McCovey. Barton coming home. McCovey takes the out at first. So there goes the shutout for Marichal. Menke over to third, and with 2 outs, Morgan will step in. We still need 6, folks. We only got 4 outs left to do it. Another grounder toward McCovey. Again takes it himself, and that is all. We need a new pitcher, and we need a new first, second, third shortstop. So Concepcion's going to come in to play some short. And as far as pitchers go, I think they're bringing in Ned Sprague. Alright. So Sprague to face Spire, McCovey, and Maddox. He'll try to get himself through this inning. If the Cincinnati boys can't mount to come back in the bottom of the 9th. Spire 1 for 3 with a run scored today. And he's going to get on for the second time with a base on balls. Spire got a little bit of speed. Can't take a big lead. And McCovey 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI on the day. There's a wild pitch. Spire going to get down to second, and McCovey flips back in the box. And very high for ball 4. The unintentional intentional walk, as they say. And Gary Maddox now. 2 men on, nobody out. Deal with Sprague. Maddox 1 for 3 with that homer back in the first inning. This time grounds to Morgan. First to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. It's a 1-4. Fire to third, and Maddox will be safe at first. Brings up Gallagher. Sprague trying to pick off Maddox, but he's going to hold him closer. Gallagher going to have a chance to drive in some runs here. Sprague with the pitch. Gallagher a liner to Concepcion. Great diving stop by Concepcion for the second out. And here's Gary Matthews, 1 for 4, run scored today. One's in the air, out toward Rose and left. Looks medium deep. And makes the catch. So, going to be Tolan bench Perez to try to start things off. They need 6 against Marichal. Here's Bobby Tolan. Strike 3. Couldn't get the bat off his shoulder. There's 1 quick out. County bench 1 for 3 on the day. Benched the MVP of the National League last season. This time he's down on strikes. Forgot to get the bat off his shoulder. Here's Tony Perez. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts against Marichal. Marichal ready. Perez makes contact this time. A chopping ground ball toward Gallagher. Grabs it and throws to second. Not in time. Turn the double play, so bench reaches. I'm sorry, bench is out at second. Perez reaches. Cesar Geronimo coming up. The pitch to Geronimo, a liner toward McCovey. He said he couldn't get there. Perez over to third. Marichal is tired. Concepcion's coming up next. Concepcion, a pretty good hitter. Randy Moffat coming in from the bullpen, and Jim Howarth comes in as the left fielder. So we pull Marichal. Moffat's pitch to Concepcion on the ground toward Gallagher and Spire. Over to first in time. It's a 5-3. That is the final out. Gary Maddox, big man on campus today, 1-for-4 with a home run. He gets player of the game honors for his 3-run home run back in the first. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first game of the 1973 baseball season for the National League. Take a look at our box. Marichal with the win for the 1-0 Giants. 7 innings. 8 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 1.04 ERA to start the season for Marichal. Gullett takes the loss. 9 hits and 7 2/3, gave up 7 big runs on 2 3-run homers. Walked 2, struck out 3. Moffat got the final out for the Giants. 3 for 5 for Tito Puentes on the day, and 2 big 3-run homers by Maddox and Rader. Let's see. Geronimo 2 for 5 for Cincinnati, and Barton a pinch hit, base hit, and a run scored, something he didn't do in the entire 1973 season. So that was a fun first game. And let's see, it's 10 o'clock. We have time for the first American League game of the season. I'll allow you to peruse the box score and game story while I go refill the Dogfish Head. Alright, so as I mentioned previously, there were no other games or happenings on April 5th. So let's see what Retro Sheet says about April 6th, 1973. A number of games on the schedule. Notable debuts that happened on this day: Houston's Jim Crawford, San Diego's Bob Davis, Montreal's Pepe Frias, and from Milwaukee, Pedro Garcia and Gorman Thomas. People who interestingly played their last games on this date: for the New York Yankees, Casey Cox, and for the Chicago Cubs, future great manager Tony La Russa. Transactions today: California Angels signed Ron Perinoski as a free agent, and the San Francisco Giants released Greg Thayer. So, we are ready to delve into our first American League game of 1973. On April 6th, we can take a look at the scheduled lineup. We've got Milwaukee at Baltimore, Colburn and McNally. The Yankees' Mel Stottlemyre takes on Boston's Louis Tiant. In Fenway, Bert Blyleven and Catfish Hunter square off for Minnesota and Oakland, respectively. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And our nightcap, once I stopped coughing, going to be Kansas City Steve's Busby at California's Nolan Ryan. This is Ryan's 383 strikeout season. That'll be a fun nightcap for the American League. We will start with Milwaukee at Baltimore. As the American League sets up their opening day rosters, the lineup for the visiting Milwaukee Brewers: May in center, Brad Auerbach at short, Jim Briggs, I think, in left field, George Scott at first, Don Money at third, Oda B. Brown, maybe? At designated hitter, we'll find out. Gorman Thomas making his debut in right field. Somebody named Rodriguez at catcher, and Garcia at second. Holborn will be on the mound, and by the way, folks, you know what? Can't play this game first. You know why we can't play this game first? Because we would be changing history a little too much. Because the first ever designated hitter in 1973 occurred, and his name was New York Yankees' Ron Bloomberg. I do not have the vocal cords for broadcasting a 3-hour game. At least not during allergy season. Also, I look really washed out thanks to the monitor light. There we go. A little natural light. Or natural. A little lamp light helps. But yeah, we're not going to change history that much. We're still going to let Ron Bloomberg be the first ever designated hitter. On this day, April 6th in 1973, we'll play the Yankees against Boston first. Oh, they won't let me. All right. We're changing history, folks. So your first ever designated hitter is going to be Ollie Brown, maybe? I don't know which Brown that is in 73. We're going to find out. They'll be facing McNally and the Orioles. With Merv Brettenman in right, Bobby Grich at second, Boog Powell at first, Earl Williams, I believe, the catcher, Don Baylor in left, Brooks Robinson at third, Paul Blair in center, Tony or Tim Crowley at the designated hitter for Baltimore, and Mark Belanger, the shortstop. So, get it started for the American League. That could be a problem. You'll have to forgive me while I take care of this. Let me just grab my code. Hopefully it's not still activated on an old machine. That would be really annoying. We're about to find out. Yep. Alright, so that's going to be something we're going to have to remedy, folks. So instead of messing around with all the files and having you sit here and wait while I do this transfer. We're just going to call it a day there, and we'll come back tomorrow with the first game of the American League season. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Joe. This has been Strat Baseball History. Hope you had a good time. Hope your Monday night is treating you well. And we'll see you next time for more 1973 baseball action. We're also going to be continuing the 1962 Cards and Dice replay. If you're not, I haven't given up on that or anything. Just like to mix in two projects. Keep things interesting. So, until next time, my name is Joe for Strat Baseball History. Thanking you for tuning in and reminding you that it's always a great day for baseball. Have a good night.